Hi guys, welcome back to 100% Mags. So this is your match preview for the upcoming game against Leeds. This is going to be an interesting game as there's only 4 games left in the season now. And looking at the games, we've got the game coming up against Leeds, of course, on Saturday. We've got the game coming up against Brighton after that. Then we've got Leicester. Then we've got Chelsea. So only 4 games left in this season. And out of them 4 games that are left, you would say that it's possible for to win all 4, but all we really need to win realistically is 2 of them games, and we have Champions League football secured for next season. Looking at it as well, it makes it even more enjoyable if we do beat Leeds on Saturday, which I do think we will, because looking at the way they played in the game against Man City, yes, Man City was only 1-0 up for quite a bit of that match, but then Man City, won the game 2-1 against Leeds. And looking at it, the game was pretty dominant from the Man City side. They dominated that game against Leeds. Looking at the possession here, Man City come away from that game with 81% possession to Leeds' 19. They had 18 shots to the 4 shots that Leeds had in the game. They had 6 of the 18 on target to Leeds' 2 of their 4 shots. Of course, on target, 10 corners from Man City as well in the game, and 16 fouls by Leeds in that game. So Leeds were playing very, very dirty in that game against Man City, and they still come away on the end of a defeat, which is expected. At the end of the day, it is Manchester City, it is Pep Guardiola's side, and they are the team to beat in the Premier League. So that is expected that, Leeds were going to come away from that game on the end of a defeat. There is no other outcome really for that one. This will be the home debut for Sam Allardyce as the Leeds United manager at Elland Road on Saturday, and I am absolutely loving, the opportunity for Newcastle to go in there and spoil the party for Sam Allardyce's Leeds United. Let's go in there, get the 3 points in the bag that we fully deserve for the way we've been playing this season. We have been absolutely amazing. Let's secure it in style and get that Champions League football for next season. And looking at, of course, the stats going into it as well. Of course, Kieran Trippier, if he plays, which he will play, of course, will reach 50 competitive Magpie appearances in all competitions. He would have got to that 50 number a lot sooner if he hadn't picked up the injury, of course, last season when he was playing in the team. And with 2 away games remaining, the Leeds game and the game against Chelsea, Newcastle have won 8 times on the road this season in the Premier League. We have a chance of equaling our best ever return, of course, since the 93-94 and the 2001-2002 seasons, of 9 wins on the road. If we win against Leeds, we will equal that, and if we can win on the last day of the season against Chelsea, then we will better our best ever return in the Premier League on the road of 9, and we will beat that by 1 win extra. We've scored 29 times in away from St James's Park this season. A figure again exceeded just twice before in this competition. The 31 times in the 93-94 season and 34 times in the 2001-2002 seasons. Sam Allardyce's first game in charge, of course, for Leeds ended in the 2-1 defeat, as I just said. And of course, this will mark his debut as well as the boss on home soil. On home soil this season, however, Leeds have conceded 31 goals in the Premier League, a divisional high, along with Southampton, and they've been held 1-1 by Leicester. Of course, this season they've won 5 times, drew 6 and lost 6 at Elland Road, conceding 12 goals in their last 3 home games. So they concede quite a few goals. That is good news for us going into the game because we love to score goals. So You know, it's going to be an interesting one to see what the end score will be in this game. I think we could be seeing, you know, a Tottenham game, a Everton game on our hands here. You know, I think we could be seeing a big, massive scoreline in this one. I'd absolutely love to see that because of who it is that is in the dugout for Leeds United as well as their manager. So I'd love to see we're going there, you know, and absolutely pulverise Leeds into the ground. But to be honest, all we really need to do is just come away with the 3 points, and a 1-0 win would seal that, you know. But it would be nice to go in there and absolutely demolish them, especially with Sam Allardyce being the manager. The referee for the game will be Simon Hooper, who will be returning for his 4th Newcastle game of the season, including the 0-0 draw with Leeds at St James's Park in December. First, of course, seen taking charge of our opening game of the season against Nottingham Forest, and he's most recently overseen our defeat at the Etihad in March. And on VAR duty for this one will be Neil Swarbrick, somebody that hasn't done very well on VAR, so hopefully he doesn't have to be involved in the game too much. But looking at it, you know, I believe we've got everything in the tank, you know, to come away from this game against Leeds down at Elland Road. It is usually a bit of a tricky fixture for down there, but I believe we do have it in the tank to come away from that game with the 3 points in the bag. Looking at it as well, Callum Wilson has registered doubles in 2 of our last 3 games, yet he's never enjoyed a goal or victory in 5 personal meetings with Leeds. So hopefully, you know, he'll be firing on all cylinders in this game. I think we might see something similar to the lineup that we're seeing against Arsenal, of course, with Isak and Wilson playing. You know, it might be a bit better in this game than it was in that game. Though, to be honest, looking at that game, you know, now that we're a little bit past it, you know, you've had a chance to calm down a little bit from the whole controversial penalty decision and the other incidents that happened in the game as well. You know, I do believe that was a pretty even game. It was a really even game, and if the decisions had went a little bit more favourable, if the chances had have been a little bit more clinical as well, were a little unfortunate for the balls to be hitting off of the post as much as they were in the game. But at the end of the day, you know, like I said in the review for that one, you know, it just goes down to being pretty much like the game against Aston Villa. You know, we were just not there. We didn't really have the best of a game, but we were still able to go toe to toe with Arsenal in the game. But let us know your thoughts anyway down in the comments below. Going into this game against Leeds United down at Elland Road, what are your thoughts on the score prediction? And do you think out of the games we have left, how many do you think we can win? Obviously, the game against Leeds, the game against Brighton, the game against Leicester, and the game against Chelsea. How many points do you think we can make out of them 4 games? I'm saying, you know, that there's not really anything saying that we can't win all 4 of them, to be honest. But all we realistically need to win is 2. Till next time, I'll see you all later, and however lads.